have I sold out by not only liking Wally but loving it? Because if you knew me from roughly 2008 onwards, you would know my rough relationship with the movie Wally, but that rough relationship is gone. Check this review out to see why I am no longer a Wally hater. Wally came out in 2008. I still don't think that Wally is quite as good as some other Pixar giants like Ratatouille and Up, but wow, I was just blown away the second time that I ended up seeing this. Okay, I want to give a little bit of a backstory of my relationship and former distaste with this film. Okay, I was 13 years old when Wally came out. Okay, grade 7. You know, when you're a teenager going through puberty and stuff, the whole world seems so weird, and it starts like really edgy things, all this rock and roll sort of stuff, and yeah, I also, this is probably the biggest reason I didn't like the film at the time, aside from just being a regular teenager. I didn't have a vast knowledge of a film at the time. Okay, I've always loved movies, but Wall-E is it's a pretty unique sort of film. Okay, the first like 30 or 40 minutes of the film is pretty much a silence film. Okay, there's just about no dialogue, and eventually when the dialogue stuff does come into place, I do think that all that stuff is good. And yeah, if you don't have much patience, if you walk in to Wall-E and you're really not expecting what you're going to see, that can have some negative effects. And I do think that that's what happened with Wall-E. I didn't know what to expect from it, and didn't have a whole lot of film knowledge. And being 13 years old at the time, I hated Wall-E when it came out. I detested it. I called it the worst movie ever. But I was really surprised to see the amount of love and acclaim that it ended up getting. So, yeah, the amount of love and acclaim it ended up getting, I was just shocked at it. I hated this movie with a passion. But then, when I started learning more about movies, like when I ended up doing some of the stuff in high school, post-secondary, reading stuff on my own, and I was looking into what more movies to see, and when I ended up getting like streaming sort of things, I wanted to look into what some of the giant critics would rave about and all that kind of stuff, because okay, what do you recommend? You've seen some of the greats, so what do you recommend? So I would look at Ebert and Roper, Siskel and Ebert, all those big critics that were on TV. I'd look into some of that kind of stuff. Richard Corliss, Richard Schickel of Time Magazine. And one thing that they would always talk about in the late 2000s was Wall-E. Because I could not escape all of these major newspaper guys in their 40s and 50s and 60s raving about this film, and here I am in my early 20s. This was like a few years ago, right? Then maybe it is just me then. So last week I decided to just bite the bullet. Figured, what? Go to my local pawn shop. They have a huge variety of family films. I bought it. Figured, if I still hate it as much as I did back in 2008, I'll just pawn it again to a different pawn shop, or make a trade, whatever. Well, put it in, watched it, was entranced, had a good time, thought it was genius, was blown away by it, was fully immersed. Wow! I was like, the ideas that this movie has, the brains, the charm, the look, the tributes that they paid to other things, like one of the things, one of the villains of the film, if you want to even call it a villain, is just like HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey. I was like, whoa, yeah, and I was on the edge of my seat during certain bits. At the beginning, when there's that 30 or 40 minute stretch of the no dialogue stuff, I thought that stuff ran on just a tiny bit longer. Right before I was thinking to myself, can I even move on from this? And yeah, I was patient with all that sort of stuff. Okay, when I was thinking, can I just move on from this? That's when they ended up switching gears. That's when they switched to the stuff with some actual dialogue, and the relevancy of this film and the charm. I was like, whoa, something that I don't do a whole lot of. Like, just despite seeing thousands upon thousands of films my entire life, I don't give 4-star films easily, ever, at all. But I was really shocked with what I felt that WALL-E deserved. WALL-E from 2008 gets 4 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.